Hey guys, Michael here. Today I'm bringing my next Skyrim build and my first vampire build of my Skyrim builds. Today we have the Wood Elf vampire, the Yekef, a very incredible looking character who's bloodthirsty and cannibalistic. This build was inspired from the sparse lore surrounding this character, and I thought I might as well make a Skyrim build on it as no one has done that before. Now onto the backstory. The Yekef was born in northern Valewood into a tribe of cannibalistic vampires called Yekef. The Yekef are a small band of vampires that reside in the dense forest of Valenwood and are said to be able to swallow men whole. He was brought up to master the arcane arts and stay in the shadows and feast on people who defile the cult. The Yekef was a crazed cannibal and was taught not to feed until once a month and find the person they desired to eat and proceed to dislocate their own jaws and swallow a human whole. The Yekef proceeded to perform operations for them and raid a town situated on the edge of the forests. One day, a Bosmer noble named Laven constructed a huge party of hired mercenaries to try and combat against the vampires. The Yekef agent kept on using his arcane techniques to slay the mercenaries until only a few remained, and he had fed on all of them. This led to becoming a crazed cannibal, as he was ridiculously bloodthirsty and would capture and torture the victims in the Yekef hideout, testing his magic skills and eating the victims one by one. This led to Laven constructing a huge army of hired thugs to raid the Yekef hideout. The thugs killed everyone apart from the Yekef agent, who used his magic to make the thugs turn on each other and let the Yekef agent escape. Before he escaped, he managed to spot the noble Laven and proceeded to pounce on him and started eating him alive. Laven screamed as loud as he possibly could, but it did not matter as the Yekef had completely consumed him after only a few minutes. He was lost, however, as he did not know his surroundings as he had never left his homeland. After living in the wild for 2 years, he lost his hunger for blood and got cured of his vampirism by a vigilant of Stendar. He thought that now he had begun a new life. However, his travels took him to Skyrim, where he was caught on the border and sentenced to death in Helgen. Now you need the Dawnguard DLC for this character to work well, as you'll be doing the Dawnguard questline, and you'll begin as a Dawnguard vampire hunter actually, as you want to forget your old life as a reclusive cannibalistic vampire. However, you get tempted by Harkon's power of the Vampire Lord, and you become wild again once you become a vampire. You want to become a cannibal as well, so you have to find the Taste of Death quest in Markarth, which is Namira's Daedric quest, and acquire the Ring of Namira. Now this build is very reliant on magic and the arcane art, so it's quite complicated. However, this build is very tanky if you get it right. So there's 5 main skills to this, and these skills are Destruction, Illusion, Alteration, Sneak, and Enchanting. Destruction will be used to cast Incinerate, which is the expert level destruction spell in fire. It's very good for just pounding your enemies and is an extremely powerful spell. You'll be using Alteration to wield 2 main spells, which are Ebony Flesh, which is the flesh spell in the expert level Alteration, and you'll be using Paralyze, which paralyzes your enemies who come up close. This is really useful, as when brutish enemies come up to you, you can just paralyze them and pound them with an Incinerate. I found this to be really useful when attacking high level enemies. Illusion will be used to wield Invisibility or Fury. Invisibility is used to go invisible obviously and slit the throats of enemies unknowingly. This is really good for attacking townspeople and for biting people's necks, as you will be a vampire and you need to feed on people. Fury is used to fuel the combat between 2 friends at the start who have now turned enemies because of your magic. Sneak will be used to obviously get around unnoticed and bite people's necks in towns, or just get past enemies. And finally, Enchanting will be used to enchant your clothes. I've used the Rustspun Tunic, the Novice Hood, and Foot Wraps, as this is all can be found in Helgen, and I think it's very useful. In fact, I personally went for this look as well because it looks really savage on a vampire like this. Now the stat spread for this character is very magicka heavy, however you'll make up for this in Alteration. So the stat spread for this character is 80% magicka and 20% health, and nothing in stamina because you won't need it. The Alteration will make up for your health, however, as you'll be using Ebony Flesh, and your perks such as Mage Armor will make you more resistant to magic attacks and make you have more armor. Now the standing stone for this character can be either of the following 2 stones. You can use the Apprentice Stone, which gives you the effect of 100% magicka regeneration but 100% weaker to magicka. However, you can just avoid that slightly by using your perks from the alteration tree. And the other one you can use is the Atronach Stone, which gives you a plus 50 points in Magicka, 50% spell absorption, but 50% slower regeneration in Magicka. But you can just enchant your Rustbun Tunic to give you Magicka regeneration if you want to. Now, after the Yekef becomes a vampire again, he wants to try and feed as much as possible, and this means trying to make Skyrim as weak as possible for his feeding. This means that he'll also be doing the Civil War quest line under the Stormcloak banner, even though he doesn't really care much for the cause at all. So the first quest line you'll be doing is the Dawnguard quest line, as you want to start as the Dawnguard, but you switch to the vampires and you do the whole quest line. Once you finish that and become the Lord of the Volkihar Court, you then join the Stormcloaks up to get rid of the Imperials, which then means they're on their own, Skyrim are on their own, which means that it's easier for you to attack and spread your danger. This can lead you to eating anyone and killing anyone and feeding as much as possible to become a very, very powerful vampire. So we have come to the end of this Skyrim build. I really hope you have enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe and you'll be able to see more of my builds come up. Next week's build, of course, will be modded, so stay tuned for that one. I have a really good one planned, and it's really interesting and dark and mysterious, and you know, it's going to be great. I just want to put a quick side note on the ESO Let's Play that I had planned for earlier. Now, that won't be going ahead for the near future, that's for sure, because let's just say I don't really have the resources to play it yet. I'm not very good at all. It's just a new game, it's very different. I've never played an MMO this seriously before. And also, I don't really want to do it until I get a bigger fan base, because it's kind of pointless putting a lot of effort into something which never really gets viewed rather. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe and comment, leaving suggestions for future builds, and peace.